Seruogo in June this year.
Officer Kayunga.
At around 8 p.m. of the Thursday, 16th December 2021, the tallying exercise for the Kayunga District LOC5 by-election commenced. The exercise, which was conducted at the District Council Hall, was presided over by the District Returning Officer, Jennifer Chobutunji, and in attendance were some candidates and agents.
And Kubi Independent 1, Mwangi Andrew NRM 32, Nakwede Harriet Nope 178.
In the morning hours of Friday 17th, the Chairperson Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, and other commissioners backed up the local staff.
I want to thank the candidates for the way you have mobilized your supporters. It has been generally peaceful.
In his conclusive remarks, the Electoral Commission boss, Justice Simon Byabakama, zeroed on peace and harmony.
Let the victor and the vanquished know that Kayunga is bigger than any individual. Join hands and bring Kayunga back to the fold, serve your people, and make sure that Kayunga becomes better and Uganda at large.
After 12 hours of tallying and waiting for either good or bad news from the NRM and UNOP camps, the final verdict was delivered.
Mwangi Andrew NRM 31,830. Nakwede Harriet Nope 31,308. Accordingly, as returning officer for Kayunga Electoral District, I declare Mwangi Andrew, who has obtained the largest number of votes, winner for Kayunga Electoral District.
This, however, was not given a standing ovation by NOPO's candidate Harriet Nakwede, whom the day's results secured her in the second position.
Tetusobola kukikkiriza obululu buno tubadde tubuwangula n'omutwalo gumu n'ekitundu. You know what has been happening. No, we cannot. Tetusobola kukikkiriza.
For NRM's Andrew Mwangi, the victory was deserved.
This victory means a lot. We want unity in Kayunga. Divisions don't work these days. So, as the new chairman of Kayunga District, I know I'm going to work hard so that the people of Kayunga get the services they need.
The National Unity Platform Party now says the only option at hand is petitioning the courts of law.
And we don't even recognize the results even if we are declared winners.
We are going to court, of course, because there's a number of evidence. Evidence is there. How the sham, how this election has been.
If they want to go to court, it is up to them. The good thing, we won. We have our win. We have our declarations. So it is up to them. But the truth of the matter is, they must appreciate that when you go for any competition, you expect a win or a lose.
According to the District Police Commander, ASP Felix Mujuzi is now rallying for peace among Kayunga residents.
I call upon Ugandans and the people of Kayunga to be firm, let them remain calm. If any person is not happy about the results, the courts of law there, they can go and appeal.
The Kayunga LOC5 position fell vacant after the death of National Unity Platform office holder Fefe Seruogo in June this year. I'm Robert Onyango and Shaidat Nasaku for UBC News in Kayunga.
And that's what happened in Kayunga. Away from that, Ministry of Education and Sports this week released the education calendar for the academic year 2022 for basic education institutions, which start on 10th January next month as the economy of the whole country opens up, while closing the 28th Education and Sports Sector Review at Kololo Independence Grounds. The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, affirmed all learners will be joining the next classes, and Ministry of Education shall provide material and remedial lessons during the first term to help them catch up with the lost time.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has announced that the school calendar for all levels, pre-primary, primary and secondary schools shall reopen January 10th, 2022. Pupils and students shall operate for 14 weeks in the first term and break off on 15th April 2022 for a 3 weeks holiday.
The second term opens for 14 weeks from Monday 9th of May 2022 until Friday 19th of August 22, followed by a holiday of 3 weeks.
The program for progression of learners indicates that only those who are at least 6 years of age shall be allowed to join Primary 1. According to the Ministry of Education, by the time schools closed for the second COVID-19 national lockdown in June 2021, learners in P4, P5 and P6 had already completed their assessments and promoted to the next class. As schools reopen in January, pupils who were in P1, P2 and P3 in 2020 shall report to the next respective class, and remedial lessons shall be provided for them in the first term.
3 and senior 5 classes of 2020 shall progress to senior 4 and senior 6 respectively upon reporting for first term of 2022.
The COVID-19 lockdown affected parents as it did to schools. Ministry of Education has guided that the parents should not be asked to pay higher school fees than they were paying before. On vaccination of teachers, 70% of teaching staff out of the estimated 550,000 teaching staff have received at least one COVID-19 vaccination jab and 28% fully vaccinated.
Right now, the first SOP that heads of institution must enforce is that all staff who are unvaccinated must not be allowed in the premises of the education institution of learning. For staff in government institutions and receiving a salary from public funds, we cannot allow you to remain away from your job simply because you do not want to be vaccinated, while at the same time you continue to receive a salary.
The ministry has also disclosed that since July 2020, under the current financial year, government has availed more than 107 billion shillings capitation grants to its institutions at all levels to enable them purchase amenities for observance of standard operating procedure.
For government-aided primary and secondary schools, at least 62 billion shillings of the capitation grants has been earmarked for restoration of these schools by way of minor repairs and facelifting.
Meanwhile, some of the priority actions from the review include ensuring and enhancing the surveillance system for school populations and ensure psychosocial support and targeting trainings for teachers and other staff to enable them resume school operations. I'm Navka Farida and Stephen Kalisia at Kololo.
Well, we also get to look at local residents in this very same week in Isingiro district being organized by their leaders to storm the United States Embassy in Kampala if the U.S. government insists on maintaining sanctions they imposed on the director of the Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence, Major General Abel Kandiho, who hails from Isingiro district. The angry residents say Uganda is a sovereign country, a reason the U.S. government should not involve itself in running its affairs. Details in this report.
Local residents of Isingiro district, the home of the Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence Director, Major General Abel Kandiho, have this morning held a peaceful demonstration protesting against what they described as illegal sanctions that the U.S. government imposed against Major General Kandiho and other army officers over violations of human rights. These held placards possessing different wordings to show their dismay in Isingiro town. They also gave a one-week ultimatum to the U.S. government to lift the sanctions against these army officers, lest they consider mobilizing the masses to storm the U.S. Embassy in Kampala.
We are going to organize a countrywide demonstration on American Embassy within 1 week. If they don't withdraw the sanctions, if they don't apologize to Ugandan country.
The angry residents say the U.S. government shouldn't at any point in time involve itself in matters of a foreign all independent country or government governed by its own laws.
So there is no way how the American government can come up and know American than us. For us from Isingiro district, we know him better than those people from America.
The image they are creating on General Abel Kandiho is not the real image. General Abel Kandiho is a general of the highest level of integrity. He respects human rights. He has fought for democracy in Uganda. He respects the rule of law.
They also state that if neighboring countries like Rwanda, Tanzania, DRC, and Kenya have not complained about Major General Kandiho, where does the U.S. government get the moral authority to slap unnecessary sanctions on General Kandiho?
But can you imagine someone from America? I don't know how many miles from Uganda to America, from America to come and say that this is the general and this general is doing A, B, C, D. I don't accept and I don't agree with the decisions of American government.
LOCO finds no reason in the U.S. sanctions against General Kandiho, whom the community hold in higher esteem in the fight against global terrorism, which is a cardinal focus of the U.S. government foreign policy on the global war against terrorism. They now want the U.S. government to slap similar sanctions on their army officers who terrorized the people of Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, and other countries. The Ugandan People's Defense Force, in a recently published statement, also opposed the U.S. sanctions against General Kandiho without giving him a fair hearing and making prior consultations.
We want cooperation.
Regarding security and fighting terrorism and also fostering regional and continental peace and stability is what will drive Africa's socio-political and economic agenda to another level. This was key among the messages delivered by the Executive Secretary, Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Dr. Woknek Gebeyehu, during the State of Regional Address in Mombasa. Citing recent attacks in Uganda and the situation in Sudan and Ethiopia, Dr. Gebeyehu wants peaceful settlement for both interstate and intrastate conflicts through dialogue.
To pursue peace.
This is IGAD, of the people
and committed to foster harmony.
For the people and by the people.
Members of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, we're here for the day's moment at Kenya's coastal city of Mombasa. The arrival of the IGAD Executive Secretary, Dr. Woknek Gebeyehu, was just in time to end anxiety on the State of Region Address.
Our founding fathers were of the same minds as the late Samora Machel, President of the Republic of Mozambique and a true son of Africa, who once said, international solidarity is not an act of charity. It is an act of unity between allies, equal unity on different terrains.
Those internal challenges affecting IGAD member states remain a cause for serious anxiety within the region and beyond, which is reason enough to be concerned. The example of the recent happenings in Sudan and current ongoings in the Republic of Ethiopia requires serious interventions.
In the case of Sudan, the disruption of the transition to civilian rule in September of this year became a matter of concern not only for IGAD, but for our continent and international community as well.
All these concerns come as a result of the region's quest for peace and stability, which member countries are in agreement with the IGAD Secretariat.
IGAD has therefore been actively engaged in applying quiet diplomacy through the good office of our various heads of states and governments as an instrument for resolving the peace and security challenges prevalent in our region.
Not all hope, however, has been lost in the region's quest for peace. In his State of Region Address, leaders of member countries have been hailed for taking the lead.
Since election is one of the reflection of democracy, I want to commend Djibouti, Kenya, and Uganda have remained authors of peace and amidst in the turbulence that has affected the region. IGAD takes this opportunity to congratulate His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni and the people of Uganda for holding peaceful election in January.
What I don't want to forget is when he said, we come in to help member states, IGAD member states, but we also recognize the sovereignty of those countries. That is a very powerful statement, that much as we are members, we should also respect the sovereignty of one another.
This was Dr. Wokne's second State of Region address as IGAD's Executive Secretary. As a bedrock upon which all other interventions are built, restoration of peace, security, and stability remain core among priorities for the next 2 years. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrut, for that report. Away from that, State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Kaduchu, did this week commission a multi-million school infrastructure at the National Teachers College in Mubende. These include a resource center, a multi-purpose hall, and classroom blocks constructed by the government with support from the Kingdom of Belgium and Enabel agency under the Teacher Training Education Project.
The State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Kaduchu, has reaffirmed government's commitment to enhance teacher development to restore the dignity and honor in education. Minister was presiding over the commissioning of a multi-million school infrastructure at the National Teachers College Mubende that included a resource center, multi-purpose hall and classroom blocks constructed by the government of Uganda with support from the Kingdom of Belgium and Enabel agency under the Teacher Training Education Project.
We have implemented together with the Kingdom of Belgium. We've got support from the Kingdom of Belgium, and it has been implemented in 5 national teachers' college. We have right here in Mubende, one is in Kabale, we have in Kaliro, Unyama, and Moni NTC. So this project is basically to construct new infrastructure and to renovate the existing structure. And as you can see, the ultimate goal is to improve the quality and the effectiveness of teaching, the quality of the teachers. We want to make a difference in the teaching profession.
Kaduchu commended the Belgium government and the education development partner Enabel for the support extended to Uganda government to address the provision of quality education. The in-charge D-Affairs Belgium in Uganda, Cohen van Akeleyen, said proving teachers capable of delivering high-quality education is crucial in improving the education sector and fulfilling the Millennium Development Goals.
And it's focusing on 3 components. So there's a component on infrastructure, as well as a component on improving the educational management and improving the pedagogical methods that have been employed. And then we have cross-cutting topics like environmental protection, climate change, fight against gender-based violence, and also making the most of digital technology for the education sector.
The Teacher Training Education Project aims at improving quality of secondary teacher education by strengthening the professional competencies of teacher trainers in the 5 national teacher colleges of Mubende, Kaliro, Kabale, Unyama, and Moni. Story compiled by Clement Wangira for UBC News.
It is true what they say, partnership equates to development. We turn our attention to Uganda's cabinet having approved a reciprocation measure for products exported from Kenya into Uganda. This follows the ban on Ugandan products from accessing Kenyan markets. Some of the major Uganda export products affected are eggs, processed chicken, as well as milk.
Cabinet agreed to reciprocate.
The next
course of action on Kenya was disclosed by Rebecca Kadaga, the Minister of East African Affairs and the first Deputy Prime Minister.
Therefore, the Minister of Agriculture is going to identify which products to ban from Kenya. We have been very patient. We have been very, we have behaved like gentle people.
According to Ms. Kadaga, the unfair treatment by Uganda's biggest trading partner in the region has gone on for too long, and therefore proactive measures must be taken to bring sanity.
So within a short time, the Minister of Agriculture would announce which products from Kenya are going to be restricted as a retaliatory measure so that they understand what we are going through. We are looking at going more into the commercial area. I'm aware that milk now, Uganda milk is now being sold in Zambia. Recently, I went to Ghana and I came back and informed the cabinet that we should start now looking at the market in the ECOWAS. So, yes, Kenya is easier because you can go by road to Kenya, but you cannot go by road to Zambia.
Ugandan eggs and processed chicken have been banned from accessing the Kenyan market. The ban went on effect in June this year.
And has been a significant blow to the Ugandan industry, as I've explained. The ban has caused prices for Uganda goods to drop significantly while the operating costs remain high. Prices of eggs, in other words, chicks and processed chicken, have dropped, while costs in terms of feed and other operational costs remain extremely high.
The Kenyans, our brothers, who are not exclusive of the industry, they are part of the industry because they sell a lot to us. So if they break the chain, I don't know if they are aware that they can also easily collapse because they sell us day-old chicks, they sell us lime, they sell us trays, poultry equipment, drugs, name it.
According to the Poultry Association of Uganda, the issue at hand is serious and needs urgent attention, especially from the political leaders. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
Thank you so much, Dennis Isagor, for that news. Now we get to take a short commercial break. When we return, still to come, we get to look at U.S. mission. We also get to look at the COVID-19 as well as polio vaccination alongside the doctor interns. Kirsten, how fighters come.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more Senkyu points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 Senkyu points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More Senkyu points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your Senkyu points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Transact. Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Ooh. The thing goes. Clink, clink, clink. Ooh.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste with no sugar. Now available at a shop near you. Maximum taste, no sugar.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 25 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
I'm Mukisaresti, a BBS student at MOOBS. I've been depositing money on my Airtel line, and an agent for me there. I won 100,000. Just dial *185#, deposit money on your line.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. It's still UBC News Roundup for the last 7 days, and we get to look at the U.S. mission in Uganda, having commanded Uganda and Congo for the joint military operations in Eastern Congo aimed at flushing out the Allied Democratic Forces terrorists. U.S. Ambassador to Uganda Natalie Brown says the United States will stand in solidarity with the joint UPDF and FARDC forces in neutralizing the ADF Islamic State-financed rebel group, as well as taking the forefront in the global fight against terrorism. Ambassador Brown said this while releasing the 2021 report to the Ugandan people, highlighting the impact of $953 million of U.S. assistance to Uganda.
Mission has saluted Uganda and Congo for the joint operations in Eastern Congo, targeting the ISIS-linked ADF terrorists. U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, Ambassador Natalie Brown, says the United States is committed to sharing intelligence and any other support towards all efforts aimed at fighting terrorism.
It's committed to working with partners to address terror threats, specifically with ISIS-DRC, or formerly known as ADF. Earlier this year, the United States designated it as a foreign terrorist organization, and this was in part to limit members of the network their ability to get resources to continue to fuel these attacks. This current efforts to address this is the regional coordination. So I'm you want to commend the strong communication and partnership that's happening right now between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. We think it's also extremely important that both Uganda and the DRC coordinate closely with UNESCO, which has a presence in the region.
Ambassador Brown, flanked by other officials from the United States mission to Uganda, were releasing the 2021 U.S. mission report to Ugandans. The report tells the story of United States partnership with Ugandans in the numerous sectors. In the health sector, for example, the United States says they are committed to battling COVID-19 together with Ugandans.
The United States has provided assistance valued at more than $122 million specifically to support Uganda's COVID response. And we donated just over 9.4 million COVID vaccine doses to help keep the Ugandan people healthy and to bring this pandemic to an end. While these figures are significant, the story of America's partnership with the Ugandan people is not one of just dollar figures, but of lives impacted. And what we know today is that millions of ordinary Ugandans are living healthier, learning better, earning more, and participating more fully in their communities because of this partnership.
When asked to comment about the recent financial sanctions slapped on some officers in the UPDF, Ambassador Brown's reply was rather one doctored in diplomacy.
It's an ongoing effort to examine some of their actions. There's a whole of government approach that looks at everything. It's a very lengthy and very vigorous process to make these things. We take the application of sanctions seriously and view it as, as I said, as one of many tools to speak out against abuses that harm citizens, that undermine democracy.
According to the U.S. mission, almost $1 billion is invested in Ugandan communities annually through the numerous government agencies they work with. Samuel Sennono, UBC News in Kampala.
Because they live by the slogan "Service above self," the Rotary of Kisugu Victoria View organized a blood donation drive in Kampala with an appeal to health workers to stop the habit of selling blood to patients. Namuwongo market vendors donated blood during this event, which also attracted the area leaders.
COVID-19 pandemic outbreak, blood shortage has been experienced in several hospitals in and around the country. It is for this reason that the stakeholders have been pleading with members of the public to donate blood for the good of those that might need it.
I call upon all of those who are in position to donate blood to please do so urgently.
In response to this plea, the Rotary Club of Kisugu Victory View have organized a blood donation in Namuongo Market as a way of adding more pins to the blood bank collections. The chairperson Family Health Day at this donation, Jennifer Katakaine, urged medical doctors to stop selling blood to patients and appealed to authorities to deal with them where possible.
Really condemn the sale of blood in hospitals, because this blood is given freely, and if it's given freely, then therefore it should be given to the patient. The community we serve is a poor community. We know that when someone comes sick, that is at their point of need, a point of desperation, and therefore it's not ethical to sell blood to patients.
The president, Rotract, Wafula Silas, advises communities to donate blood and save lives of those in need, especially pregnant mothers.
People out there, first of all, they should know that donating blood is gifting life. It's not a must. However, it should be a priority to all people who are humanitarians, people who believe that life matters, people who love. Because the only gift I can tell you is gifting a life, and we can gift a life by saving them. So giving blood, donating blood is the best option.
Some of those that stand up will come to the drive and pledged to encourage other members to embrace the appeal.
People do get accidents. Also, mother, they do go to hospital. So some are they operate, some are they lucky, some with blood. So that's the reason why I donate.
As we are going for Christmas, we know many people are getting accidents. It is our personal responsibility to donate blood so that we save lives.
Give a life, donate some blood, and that way you would have saved a life through this festive season. After all, it's all about the cheer and give back to ourselves. Center for Health, Human Rights and Development, Federation for Uganda Medical Interns, and Uganda Medical Association this week sued government over the delays of medical interns' salary and Dr. Mwebesa's directive ordering interns to vacate their places of work. In the suit, they want court to compel the Ministry of Health to attend to the medical interns' concerns as early as possible, as it was promised by the President.
Since November this year, over 1,400 medical internees have been on an industrial strike in demand for their unpaid enhanced allowances, as promised by the President. Although they have addressed their concerns to the relevant authorities, especially Minister of Health, nothing much has been done to address their concerns. In the recent letter dated 10th December 2021 from the Director Health Services, Dr. Henry Gimwebesa, he ordered all medical internees to vacate their respective places of work following the expiry of their internship term. It's against this backdrop that Center for Health and Human Rights Development (CEHAT), Uganda Medical Association (UMA), and Federation for Uganda Medical Internees (FUMI) filed a suit in courts of law. The suit is filed against the Attorney General, the Director of Health Services, Dr. Henry Gimwebesa, and Minister of Health.
The right to the industrial action is constitutional. The labor laws allow employees to lay down their tools for them to negotiate for better working conditions. But unfortunately, instead of their demands being met, the same government seems to be insensitive or aloof to their conditions, and instead now asks them to vacate their training institutions, to vacate the hospitals where they are doing training from, such that they fail to complete their course.
Kenneth Sebabi, counsel representing the petitioners, highlights on some of the petitioners' prayers in this suit.
For orders compelling them to recall the directive that in essence asks them to vacate their training centers, to implement the directive of His Excellency the President that is meant to enhance their wages from 750 to 2.5. So we have filed the miscellaneous cause for administrative orders. We have also filed an application for an interim order restraining the Minister of Health and Attorney General from enforcing the directive of Mr. Mwebesa that in essence seeks them to vacate the hospital premises.
Dr. Ledo Samuel Odong, President Uganda Medical Association UMA expressed their disgrace on Dr. Mwibasa's letter to medical internees.
So even when we have been in our instruction, we've been lenient enough to have engagements with government. So a Director General to come up with such a letter, when he knew the team that is in instruction is purely having dialogue and discussions with the government, was watering down the efforts that we had put in to address these issues.
Although this issue was meant to be tabled in Parliament today, however, the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, has decided to extend the matter come the next Parliament sitting next week. According to the letter that was released by the Permanent Secretary to the Minister of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, on 15th December 2021, medical internees' concerns are said to have been addressed to the Minister of Finance. According to the State Minister Planning and Finance, Henry Musasizi, while addressing legislators on the floor of Parliament, confirmed that his ministry has already processed these people's salary on the Minister of Health's account.
That is what our clients want. So let our clients be settled. They will again give us instructions to withdraw the case. It is their case, they can withdraw it, but can also maintain it until their demands have been met by government.
Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
Still regarding Health Ministry of Health, Rotary Club of Kalangala and Works Minister General Katumba Wamala this week launched a COVID-19 mass vaccination drive in Kalangala. The community of islanders are the vaccination drive exercise beneficiaries, and the Kalangala headquarters is where this exercise is being conducted. The community of the islanders is to embrace the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because of the nature of their work.
Thousands of people have turned up in big numbers to embrace the COVID-19 vaccination drive in Kalangala district. The people of Kalangala have been vaccinated with Johnson & Johnson because of the fishing business, which keeps them moving to different islands, making it unable to receive the 2 jabs.
The hunters, like fish hunters, when they tell them that now more fish is deep in the lake, they will go and stay there for 6 months without coming back. So if you give him this AstraZeneca, which you are expected to come back after 3 months, until the fish is finished there, where he has gone, he may not come back. So you may not find him for the second dose. And he may even after leaving there, he may not necessarily come back to this original place. He may go to another area in search of fish. So because of that, their nature of living and behavior, I thought that they would benefit more from this one-time shot.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, took the vaccination exercise to advise young girls go for the human papillomavirus vaccination to reduce cases of cervical cancer and also warned them against HIV/AIDS. Atwine assured the community that they have deployed Uganda People's Defence Forces to safeguard the boat ambulances and assured the community that they will be dispatched soon.
Kalangala is a unique, Kalangala, Bovuma, those are unique setups, so we have to give them the facilities, not according to our usual criteria.
Health workers, district health officers in Kalangala have been thanked for the sacrifice they made at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Diana Atwine said they are to equip health centers with equipment and resources to save lives with complicated cases being referred to hospitals.
And so even the hospital, although the population is still small, but because it is a unique setup, they need a hospital. We should have done that, but our target now is to make sure that their health center fours are fully functional. Because like Bukasa does not have equipment, and that's our priority now. We are going to put equipment, we are going to equip the facilities that we upgraded, and then we upgrade more. And as I was discussing with the leadership of the district, we agree that they make sure that they survey the land, because we don't want to come to start and then we get all these issues that of the land.
Hajat Hanifa Kawoya, the State Minister for Health General Duties, thanked the Kalangala community for embracing the vaccination exercise because it will trigger the opening up of the economy.
And the reason why we are here today, to reassure Ugandans that your first utmost investment should be in your own life. You must save your lives. There is nobody who is going to come out and say, especially during this pandemic, The responsibility is for you and me. You are safe when your neighbor is safe. You are dead when your neighbor is about to die or is dying of COVID-19. There is no medicine. The medicine we are getting here, the vaccination we are getting is a preventive one.
She urged Ugandans to take the COVID-19 vaccination seriously, assured all Ugandans that there are enough vaccines for everyone. The launched mass COVID-19 vaccination will spread in all the 64 islands of Kalangala, majorly using Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Sudat Kaya, thank you so much. And we definitely must embrace the vaccination drive ahead of the economy reopening come January 2022. We turn our attention to the Principal College of Veterinary Medicine, Animals Resources and Biosecurity, Makerere University Professor John David Kavasa, this week urging the scholars to put more emphasis on acquiring skills to transform themselves and the country. He was speaking at the launch of the book entitled Seeds of Success and Wealth by Dr. Gabriel Tumwine of Makerere University.
The other societies that have moved is that the other people have progressed in pursuing the knowledge value chain, where you get the knowledge and you change it into understanding, you change it into ability to do things until you get the product and finally get it to the market. Changing knowledge into value that people actually need. Because the human nature is that people are always moving around looking for better value than what I had yesterday. And what creates that better value than yesterday is knowledge, and knowledge which helps you to understand and which helps you to create and make new value. That's what we call skill. It's all knowledge, but knowledge which is added in different ways. Now, Africans are not making effort to proceed to that level. So we need to ensure that Africans do that. The Chinese did that, the Indians did that, the Europeans were the first to do that, the Americans followed. So the Africans might do it now if we are expecting to have our destiny as Africans in this century.
Pregnant, let us not call them stupid, let us not call them foolish. Let us just say, what can we do, how best? And the book clearly guides us that it has the seeds that we have to plant in them. Let us plant the seed of them knowing exactly what they want. Let them have to learn new things. Let them have the courage. Let them have the confidence. Let them believe in themselves. Let them be in a position to focus. And we as parents be in a position to help them. We invest in them and we take them to the next level.
Parents of school-going children living in slum areas of Munyonyo this week offered study materials in the world's youngest pilot, aged 8 years, Shema Graham, also the ambassador of Awaken the Genius, London, England. The zone has a population of over 1,000 people, with the majority of residents engaged in petty trade, robbery, pickpocketing and prostitution, among others.
Following government's official announcement in regard to the full reopening of all schools and education institutions on 10th January next year, parents are now busy trying to raise school dues and buying scholastic materials for their children. Residents of Salama Central Zone Village, Munyonyo, near Kampala, have received a boost from the world's youngest 8-year-old pilot, Shemi Grammy, and also the ambassador of Awakening the Genius, London, who donated scholastic materials to them.
All children are going back to school, and we should not leave anybody behind. So children should go back to school, because children are losing hope. Boys are becoming thieves and girls are getting pregnant, and we should stop it before it gets more worse. I raised enough money to buy pencils, pens, books, sharpeners, sets, and that's why I was giving out those things for children. When they go back to school, they be ready.
Graham also gave out relief that included basic needs to over 20 children at Loving Hearts Caring Home, Munyonyo.
I'm so grateful. I mean, it's everything that a person decides to bring to us, it is a milestone to the lives of these children, and we are so happy that a child like them has thought of them and decided to give them something.
Area leaders and residents appreciated the young pilot for the journalist.
I would request parents not to think of school fees as a big task when they take back children to school. You take children to where you can afford. We have seen students, we have seen children going through UPE and USE, and they have made it to where they wanted. So we are requesting parents to talk to their children, prepare their children so well, let them think about the long term than the short term.
I had not yet even got prepared. I will not lie to you. I had not yet got prepared. Now I was been looking for the close of Christmas. Then after I could think of going back to school. Otherwise, we are so happy. God should bless that young boy.
We need to educate our kids. We shouldn't lose hope because of the pandemic. Every child deserves school. Every child matters. Every child needs to go back to school.
Deborah Namamonde, Natong Rebecca, UBC News.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
Mariam, in your Lantoro, Tabedo Jinja, Tadio Star 185, Tachulo Rigo TV for a month. After 2 days, your Airtel Jobinojo Goran Simus and now winning 100,000.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
I'm growing up, I'm growing into every moment.
Thanks, Mom. Nurture the moment with Minute Maid Delight, now available in apple flavor in the 400ml ready-to-drink pack.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial star 141 hash.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Nine minutes to 2 p.m. We do come to the end of our weekly business roundup with our news desk, which brings you a story from Rukunjiri Tree Growers and Timber Traders Corporation Society this week, having received support to construct a timber yard aimed at transforming the timber value chain and boost productivity of the cooperative society. Worldwide Fund for Nature, in partnership with government through the Ministry of Water and Environment in Rukunjiri local government, have joined hands to promote this venture.
I have the honor to hand over this contract for the construction one of the standard timber and wood processing yard at Kagogo Local Forest Reserve, Western Division, Rukungiri Municipality, along Rukungiri-Mtoma, Ishasha Road.
Rukunjiri Tree Growers and Timber Traders Cooperative Society have established a timber yard to facilitate the sale and trade of their forest products. The initiative was rolled out at a ceremony held at Kagonyi Forest Reserve in Western Division, Rukunjiri Municipality, and officiated by the area Member of Parliament, Dr. Elias Rutahigwa.
Let us plant trees. Let us contribute to the biodiversity, because your health, your food, your nutrition is under the control of the biodiversity. The lot of business we do is in there.
Rutahigwa said environmental protection is vital for biodiversity conservation. He said environmental degradation is outright corruption, and appealed to Rukunjiri district and the entire Kigezi sub-region to engage in tree planting.
So when we engage in tree planting, we are doing a great job to ourselves.
The Worldwide Fund for Nature Conservation Country Director David Dooley said conservation of national parks, forests and wetlands is necessary for nature protection. Said some are degrading the environment because of poverty and no other alternative source of income.
We are looking at youth empowerment through skilling, so that such a center which are going to have here, the youth are involved in pulp, in plywood, and all the stages that we go through. And if we can have like 5 centers like this one here, we know the youth will go a long way to acquire the skills.
Lukunji District Chairperson Godfrey Byamukama appreciated Worldwide Fund for Nature Conservation for the timber project that is going to add value to the district's revenue base. He said the yard has potential to create a stable market for timber employment and inspire residents into engaging in tree planting.
As a district, as a government, we are grateful for tree growers because they help us conserve nature, they help us to promote tourism, because most of our valuable animals which attract tourists are found in forests. We need those forests.
Byamukama, however, said Lukunjiri Timber Growers and Timber Traders Cooperative Society land is a government facility that would revert to the district in case of failure to carry on the project. Harimana Deo and Anyine Fred reporting for UBC News.
Still regarding business, Uganda Coffee Development Authority this week launched Fertilizer distribution program that is aimed at increasing coffee productivity and household income in Uganda. This program involves giving farmers free organic fertilizers as a demonstration to farmers to partake in the new system of stamping their old coffee plantations that have not been producing good yields of coffee.
Animal industry, Lieutenant Colonel Bright Ramirama has encouraged farmers to grow more coffee to enable Uganda achieve its target of producing 20 million bags of green coffee by 2025.
Coffee is one of the 18 enterprises the government has prioritized towards achieving Uganda's socio-economic transformation agenda. Today, Uganda boasts of being Africa's top coffee exporter with earnings of $496 million in the year 2019-2020 and $559 million in the year 2021 from coffee export earnings alone. We as Uganda have also recorded our highest ever coffee export of 2.08 million 60 kg bags in 2021 up to 5.12 million 60 kg bags in 2019-2020.
The aim of this move is to increase the rate at which a coffee tree yields 2 to 5 kilograms of green coffee, giving 900 kilograms an acre, and due to the new approach of stamping and applying fertilizers, yields are expected to rise to 2,250 kilograms an acre.
The innovation of stamping and coffee rehabilitation is aimed at changing the production and productivity of the coffee trees. Currently, our coffee trees in Bunyoro and generally in Uganda as a country are producing far below the potential. If we stamp these very old trees, we infill the gardens that are not having full capacity in terms of population of trees. We shall be rejuvenating the trees by stamping them, and we give them fresh energy to produce highly.
According to Emmanuel Iyamulemie, the Executive Director UCDA, the aim of government supporting this initiative is to accelerate coffee exports from 3.5 million bags in 2015 to 20 million bags by 2025.
We have seen over the years that since 2015-16, Uganda was exporting 3.5 million bags per year. And as we talk now, the last financial year ending 2021 June, Uganda exported 6.1 million bags countrywide. And our projection is that next year we should be reaching 7 million bags of coffee.
Kawa Geoffrey, a coffee farmer in Hoima district, urged fellow farmers to embrace the stamping culture so as to acquire good yields of coffee.
I advise some farmers who have not yet stamped their trees, and those trees which are above 8 years, I advise them to stamp those trees of coffee because they get more production than they are getting now. Stamping is very okay. Your trees to give you more production than before.
11 Bunyoro sub-region districts are going to benefit from the 1,694 tons of fertilizers to be distributed to farmers in Chikube, Hoima, Mubende, Kakumiro, among other districts that have embraced stamping system and fertilizer application.
Well, we have rounded it up for you last 7 days, but of course stories do continue to develop, and you do have more that will be coming in between now and our next subsequent bulletin at 7 p.m. You can follow up on those on our social media platforms, on Twitter at UBC TV Uganda for more details. For now, a special thank you to Habimana Dell on editorial and Jimmy Aluri on coordination for UBC's weekly news roundup. I remain Priscilla Nalwoga. Have yourselves a wonderful afternoon.